In our teams, we look for talents that are extraordinary. We search designers, innovators that are really rare to find. We call them indeed the unicorns. The unicorns are an idea of innovator. Plato would call them an idea of innovators, with a world of ideas that is something out there that we want to aim to tend to. And so the unicorns have a list of characteristics that we all want to aim to, that we all want to work on. And so this is the filter we use when we select the people we want to hire. And then it's the filter we use to identify the future leaders of this organization to grow within the organization. And it's the filter I personally use every day to try to better myself, to become the best unicorn I can imagine, I can think of, with a journey that will end at the end of my life, meaning that it will never stop. There will be always margin of improvements in this road to become the perfect unicorn. There are many characteristics. I will explain some of them in more in depth in some additional videos, but here I want to share with you a summary of all of them. There are different kinds of skills that the unicorns have. The first one is the first group is what I call the entrepreneurial skills. Are those skills that are necessary to drive your business activity, your profession, whatever you do. First of all, they need to be visionary, they need to be experimenters, and they need to be also able to execute on that vision. And that's not easy. You need to have dreams, but in the meantime, you need to execute those dreams. And often you have people that are amazing dreamers but bad executor, and people that are really good at executing, but they have the inability to think big. They need to be original. They need to have a unique point of view on life, critical mind all the time. They need to be intuitive, trust their guts. Then they need to have the ability to build a synthesis of that intuition that is comprehensive, that take in consideration all the different variables, but then also they need to be able to disconnect, disintegrate the synthesis into a series of steps that are more analytical to build and execute the kind of vision that was driven initially by the intuition. They need to be proactive all the time, always searching for the root causes, for the primary causes that drive everything, always asking why, until you arrive to the real reason why you need to do a project, why a brand needs any kind of change or evolution. The primary cause that drive a company, that drives a consumer or a customer or a user or people in general, human beings as I like to call them. And they always go the extra mile. They always go, above and beyond what people expect from them. People being their supervisors, the company, the customers, the people out there buying our products and brands. They understand the trends. They are in tune with the trends. They live the trends. They are the ambassadors of what's going on out there in the society every day in the office, physical or virtual that is, because they are connected to those trends with their antenna up every day. They are in love with people. They are people in love with people. They don't stop at satisfying a customer, somebody. When you try to satisfy somebody, you try to fulfill a specific need that you identified. But when you love somebody, when you love your kids, your husband, your wife, your significant other, your parents, your friends, when you love somebody, you try to do the magic, the unexpected, something that is not obvious, you try to surprise them. And this is what we do as real innovators, as real designers. We try to do the magic, to deliver something that people don't expect at all. We offer value to people. We do magic. We don't just stop at satisfying their needs to make money on it. No. We really want to create something really valuable for them, no matter what, going above and beyond once again. They are risk takers. They love risk. They are okay with risk. They're comfortable with risk. But they also know how to do it in a cautious way, with their safety nets, with wisdom, and not in a reckless way. They are brave, but not in a reckless way. They are a status with aesthetic sense, meaning that they appreciate beauty and the value of beauty, the business value of beauty and aesthetic and style, and they know also how to recognize it. Sometimes you appreciate it, you say that you love it, you understand the value, and that's great. Then you can empower somebody else to work with you on that. Or you have individuals that, on top of appreciating it, they also have the kind of very well developed, naturally developed, and then trained over the years aesthetic sense that you often find in the design community. They are holistic designers, meaning that they understand design in all the different dimensions. This is extremely important in our organization, especially for the people that want to grow into the leadership positions. You need to understand your field, where you are an expert, where everything started from. You are a graphic designer, you are an industrial designer, you are a strategist, a digital designer. You need to get that really well. You need to be the best in that. But then, over the years, in time, you need to start expand out of it. And this is the beauty of working in a company like PepsiCo, because you are exposed to some extraordinary designers in other fields every day, directly in your office, in big offices like the one in New York as an example, but also in others, or eventually virtually, because you have access to all of the design team, and you can be exposed once again and learn out of your territory, your field, your specialization. And this is important because the real design leaders of today and of the future are the ones that understand how to leverage all the different phases of design to drive innovation and build value for the brand. The brands live across multiple touch points. You need to understand how to manage product design, brand design, digital, graphic, fashion, even in industries, even outside of the fashion world, and lifestyle in general, and strategy and innovation and design thinking, all the different dimensions to build value for the company, the brands, to drive innovation and drive business growth. And finally, they are sensitive to the world of business, they are business savvy, and to the world of technology, they are tech savvy. They understand those words, they understand their language, they understand how to translate the value of what design does into something that is accessible, understandable from the business and the tech world. Because at the end of the day, innovation is all about connecting human insights with technology and science and with the business world. Desirability, viability, and feasibility, driven through design thinking and the ability to connect empathy strategy through prototyping, leveraging our tools in the design world. This is what, once again, I call the entrepreneurial skills. Then there are what I call the social skills, the skills that help you somehow connecting with others, to bring others with you, to grow others in your teams, to connect with people above you, with investors, with anybody that surround you, because innovation is not a one man or one woman show anymore. So what are they? Well, first of all, they're good human beings. They're sincere, they're trustworthy, they're there not just for themselves, for their ego, for their personal agenda. They're there for the team, for all the organization, for working together and building value together inside the company, going after the bigger vision, the bigger dream. So this is the most important requirement. This is the filter number 0 that we use to identify the people inside this organization. We want good people with a good soul. Then they love diversity. They love diversity because, first of all, it's the right thing to do in this society, but also because they profoundly understand that diversity is the richness of this society. And if you want to innovate, you need diversity of thinking. It's at the base of how we do innovation. Innovation is all about looking at something that everybody look at for years or centuries sometimes. It could be a product, a brand, a situation, a way of living of people, of drinking, eating, traveling, anything, and seeing things that nobody ever saw before, seeing opportunities that nobody ever saw before. So diversity is so important in this process because you will have always your perspective. Then there will be people with different perspectives. And when you combine two different perspectives together, you're going to build a third perspective. Through dialogue, through respect, you're going to build a third perspective that is new, unique, and original, and can drive value for your company, your business, yourself, society in general. What we call innovation, innovative way of looking at reality and building solutions. They are very empathic and they have a very high EQ, emotional quotient, and emotional intelligence. They are able to connect with others, to feel others in a room, in an environment, in a conversation. Before anybody talks, they read people emotionally, and they are able to bring people with them in this journey. They are kind of orchestra directors. They're very polyglot in a metaphorical sense, meaning that they understand the different languages of business, of technology, of consumer insights, of finance, of HR, of all the different dimensions of an enterprise or a business in general, so that they can connect all of them through design thinking, through the ability of prototyping. Because innovation is about connecting all the different aspects of reality into one holistic solution for people. They're respectful. And this is obvious, and it's not that obvious at all. In reality, respect is so powerful. When you respect somebody else, you open up to a dialogue. There are many designers that think the business world, they don't get our creativity. We have all the solutions, they don't get it. They butcher all our great ideas. Or you have the opposite. You have the business people that think, oh my God, these designers, they're crazy, they're creative. Let's use them, let's leverage them, but let's keep them, under control. We leverage them, but we don't collide with them. They don't get it. And the truth is that the two functions overlap, and they really, the business world often understand creativity, the design world often understand the business strategy, and they can work together, and often we lack of respect for each other. When you respect somebody that thinks different from you, that has a different kind of background, two things can happen. On one side, you may realize by talking to this person that you were missing some key data, information, insights that make you change mind. And so in the dialogue, through that respect, you are changing mind, you are bettering yourself, and you're then building a successful partnership with a person. The other scenario is that you realize why the person was not understanding your point of view, and you're going to change vocabulary, you're going to change storytelling, you're going to change the way you convey your message so that finally the person understands you, because you answer questions that were unanswered. They would have been unanswered if you were not talking to the person with respect for each other. So also in that case, then you build a successful partnership, and it's a win-win kind of situation. Respect is key. Then they need to be charismatic storytellers. They need to be able to tell the story of what they're doing, share the value of what they're doing in a charismatic way, in a way that engage people. People want to listen to you, they want to go with you, they want to embrace your ideas, they want to drive things with you. You need to be able not just to do great innovation, great design, great work, but you need to be able to tell the story of the great work, to bring people with you, not just within the design team, the company, but also your customers, your investors, your consumers at the end of the day. From ideation all the way to launch, storytelling is essential every step of the way. They are generous mentors. They understand that to grow, you need to receive, to observe, to listen, and you will meet multiple mentors in your life if you are able to receive the learnings, if you are open to what they're open to say to you. So you will be there receiving that, and then at a certain point you also need to give back, mentor others in a generous way. And finally, they don't take themselves too serious. They love to have fun, and they understand that it's so important to have that kind of positive, fun attitude, that smile on your face when you do innovation, design, and when you work in general. And finally, these are the skills that we call the social skills, and then there are the enabling skills, what you need to drive all of this. Quickly, curiosity. You need that curiosity when you travel, when you read, when you interact with people, that curiosity that drives to learn all the time for life. They need to be humble, but also self-confident, working together. They need to listen in a very careful way. They need to really, cultivate the art of listening, but also they need to act. You don't want to be paralyzed in the analysis paralysis, we say. You need to listen, gather data, information, wisdom at the end, and then act. You need to be optimistic and resilient, because if you're trying to change the world, you will face a lot of roadblocks all the time, closed doors. You need to go on and on and on, and finding that optimism and the resilience, the energy to do it. They need to be in comfort in the discomfort, being able to get out of your comfort zone and experiment and try and be okay with failure from time to time. It's part of the game. If you don't fail, if you are not out of your comfort zone, probably you're not changing anything. And finally, they need to be change agents connected to this, building on this. They need to be people driving change, obsessed with the ability to change and the need of changing and the value of changing, but it needs to be meaningful change, all driven by a profound understanding of the people you change for, the society and your environment and your context. So these are all the characteristics that drive what we call the unicorns, the people we want to hire, the people in our teams, and ourselves in this journey that is a life journey. Students of life, students for life.